What's up, everybody? It's your boy D.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy D.
And we're back with part 2 of the Beat Thang versus the Renaissance. And sorry it took me a while, but I just really wanted the first video to marinate for a little while. But today we're going to go to the surface of both the MPC and the Beat Thang. We're going to start with the Beat Thang today. Alright, now as you can see, the MPC Renaissance has that MPC look. You got your transport buttons right here, and it actually looks similar to the 3000. You got your cursor knobs here. You got your number keys. You got your main button right here. It always takes you back to the main screen. You got your tap tempo here. All right. You got your scroll wheel. Also, you got your plus and minus. And as you can see, the red underneath the buttons here indicate, you need to press the shift button to get to those. Whether you have folders that you're accessing drum kits or sounds with, basically shift and it'll go to folder 1, shift folder 2. So that's how you do that. You got your project buttons, sequence, your data select program, samples, no filter, because you can filter when you go to the when you go into the program. You can filter what things you're looking for, whether you're filtering programs, you want to see just the program, sequences, projects, sequences, programs, samples, and then you can have no filters, which will show everything on the screen. You got your song mode. When you go into song mode, these are your different modes right here. You got your project editor, your program editor, your program mix, sequence editor, sample editor, and your song. And like I said before, to get to any of the bottom functions, you'd hold shift down and you'd press those functions. So each function, each button does a number of functions. You got your main volume here. You got your direct mono and your record gain. Also, you got of course, you have your mic in and your phono in, and that's switchable like that, and it'll also let you know what you're on right there. Moving along to the left side of the MPC Renaissance, you have your Q-Link triggers. Now, these are 16 assignable Q-Links, where you're gonna, and depending on what mode you're in, it's gonna do different functions. It's also touch sensitive, so if you have an effect, and if you touch the tops, it will trigger that effect or that sound or whatever. Like I said, it's touch. They're all programmable. Up top, you have your F keys, which when the screen is on will coordinate to whatever is on the screen. You got your window, your window, and that takes you through different things. And if you're familiar with the MPC, any of the MPCs, that's going to be very familiar with to you. You got over here, you got your track mute, you got your pad assigns, and once again, you have pad mute and pad copies. And also these also, go with the shift button. You got your next sequence to quickly go to your next sequence. You got your step sequences here. You got your 16 levels, which is going to, if you take a sound and you want it to go throughout the pads, you can make it go, tone or, whatever levels, whatever you want to do. You have a full level here. If this is when you want every pad to be basically, no matter how hard you hit it, would be at full velocity, and you can go half velocity on that too, which is very convenient if you just want half that sound. You got your pad banks here, A through H, which is very convenient. Like I said, with the underscore, with the ones that are under in the red, you hit the shift button. Now up top right here you have your vintage modes. I'm not going to get into that. You can actually go to their to Akai Professional website, and they will tell you more about that. The vintage mode basically emulates other MPCs that were made in the past, and it's actually pretty good. Makes it sound a little like 24-bit or 16-bit. You know, it just puts that grittiness sound back into the new MPC. And then of course you have your pads here. The pads are nice and soft. They're, you know, MPC style feel with the pads. Really not too much I can say more about the pads, but they're really good. The pads are very, very well made, and they're also backlit with colors. Depending on how hard you hit the pad, it will light up. You know, red meaning full velocity, yellow meaning, you know, half, and green, you know, meaning, you know, very light. So, you know, and that's how that works right there. And it lights up on the side, and we'll get to that when we power it on. And that's basically there's a lot more that the MPC does on the top. If I miss anything, my fault. There's just so much that it has with it, and I might have missed a couple things. But like I said before, you can always go to Akai Professional website and listen to them and find out all the functions of the front panel of the MPC Renaissance. All right, now we're here with the BKE Beat Thang, and we're going to go over the front panel of the Beat Thang. Now, one thing I want to start with, there's a pitch wheel on the side of the Beat Thang right here, and there's also a mod wheel on this side, as you can see me moving it back and forth. Okay, we're going to start with the cursor. This is how you would navigate through. If the screen was lit up, you would navigate through the Beat Thang screen. You got your cursor knobs here. Your cursor buttons here. When you're going through them, to select, to move over left or right, right there. Also, when you're moving the knob, you can also press down on it. You got your song mode here, song mode button. You got your pattern button when you're making a pattern. You got your kit, and you got your instrument when you're making an instrument. You're putting instruments together, and you got your kits when you're putting kits together. Now, up here underneath the screen, you have soft keys, and the soft keys are going to basically, you got to keep an eye on those, because they're going to basically, whatever's on the screen on the bottom, it's going to correspond to that, whatever it has up there. Now, across the top, you're going to have your edit, your save, your exit, your undo, your insert copies. This is going to copy your tracks, or, you know, basically you can copy anything from there, from your screen, or from a pad to another pad. You have your delete. You have your export when you're exporting your track out. You have your system. System is going to go into where you can set up your MIDI, you know, just things like that. Your pad sensitivity and things like that. And they're gonna you know, correspond when you go into systems with the soft keys as well. You have your volume, and that volume is going to control your headphones, your outputs, your inputs, things like that. You have your sample. You're going to press sample when you're, you know, of course, when you go into sample mode. Now, on the top right here is the Beat Thang has something called a Freak. Freak has just different effects in it. Just a whole bunch of different effects. The only thing with the effects that I have noted that I would like for them to change is that it's global. So when you put on an effect, it affects the whole track and not just the pads. Like if I want to assign it to a pads, but I'm pretty sure they might. I don't know. I'm not even going to say if they're going to fix that, but hopefully they will. You have your delay, your reverb, your bang. Just makes it louder. Yeah. Blang mean when the beat thing lights up, this basically you press the blang and it just turns the lights. It's like a switch to turn the lights on and off and dim, from off to dim to it just turns the lights to different stages. You got your data wheel. You can also press it when you select. You're going to use this to move around in the beat thing as well. And you got your data select. You can select it or turn the knob, whichever you're going to do. Of course, you have your transport windows right here, your rewind. This puts you to a certain backup, a spot or whatever. Go move forward. Your record, stop, and play. Then you have your tracks. It has 16. The beat thing has 16 tracks on it. I forgot to mention that the MPC has 128 tracks, I think. Yeah, 128 tracks or 124 tracks. One of them is 100 and something tracks. But the beat thing has 16 tracks. Then you got your mute, your solo, your mixer. Mixer is where you're gonna go and you're gonna basically exactly what it is, your mixer. You have your banks when you bank up and down, and then you have your 12 pads here. And the pads are laid out a little different than the MPC, as you can see. They're laid out like chromatically, basically like almost like a keyboard. Basically, so you can, if you want to play it, you can play it as a keyboard. You have your tap tempo here to set your tempo, and you have your roll, and you have your hold right there. And that's it on the beat thing as far as the top panels. If I once again, same as I said on the MPC, if I miss anything, you can always go to BKE, their website, and find out any other information on the front panel. I think I've basically covered that, a lot of that. In some functions, you have to have it on to access. So I don't want to say that it doesn't do certain things that the MPC does, because it just might, but sometimes it has to be on, and a lot of things correspond with these soft keys up here and on the screen. Same with the MPC, with the MPC compared to the beat thing. There's a lot of things, a lot of functions that you're not going to see until it's powered on. So thanks for watching this video. Let me know what you think so far. Let me know what you think so far, and the next video is going to be both units powering on and going through some of the functions and seeing what's going to be best for you. And just to let everybody know, the video will be up a lot faster than the last video. Alright guys, while I got you here, I just want to address a couple things from the comments on the last video about comparing these two together. Some people saying, oh, they shouldn't be compared together. Well, I'm going to compare it together because they're both beat making machines, production units basically, so they can be compared together because they both, at the end of the day, they both are doing the same thing. It doesn't matter, if it's one company or the other company, if one needs a computer, if one doesn't need a computer. Like I said, at the end of the day, it still makes music, and that's why we're comparing them together. Now, I'm not telling no one to buy any certain one. They can get whatever one they want to get, whether if they want to get something portable or something, not so portable. It's really up to them. I'm not affiliated with either one of the units companies, even though you have seen me, doing a lot of videos on the beat thing. Well, that's because the Renaissance wasn't out, and I didn't have the Renaissance. So you're going to see a lot more videos on the Renaissance, as well as more videos on the beat thing. And I also still help out people that need help when they have problems on the beat thing. So I'm far from being a hater on the Beat Thang or a hater on the Renaissance. I just know how to use the Beat Thang, and I know a lot about it. Know a lot about the insides, and I know a lot about the just functionality and the durability and just things that can easily be fixed on the Beat Thang. I just know about. So if you ever need help on it, just hit me up and I'll help you. I'm also going to do a video on the MPC Studio once I grab one, once I get my hands on one. They're all sold out everywhere. So that's it. Thanks for watching. It's your boy D, and I'm out.